right, so moving on. We are at chapter 3.2. We're going to learn how to use the matrix function and the is.matrix function. So the is.matrix function. You need to be able to pass a variable to is.matrix to test whether or not the type of variable is a matrix. Now, this is just a function that allows you to verify that the variable you're working with isn't actually type data or type matrix. So it's similar to the function that you saw in previous lectures, that's type of, but this is specifically set for matrices. It's going to return a Boolean value of true or false. So is this a matrix? Yes. Is this not a matrix? No. So that's the notation behind this. So in the example below, I just made a quick one-dimensional matrix. You're going to see 1 through 4 in just one column with 4 rows. You're going to be able to test whether or not it is a matrix. Here it is true. So it's a very simple, quick, and easy way to check it. Just to emphasize what was done in the previous lecture, we're going to go ahead and try to organize the matrices as well. So you can organize matrices by filling in values through rows first. So you'll see in the first row, you see 1 and 2, followed by the next row, 3 and 4. N row will create the amount of rows for you. The default will be the shape of your initial variable passed. So that's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions, go ahead and play around in our studio and get a good understanding as to how it passes these arguments and how your data is shaped. Now, organizing a matrix by columns and utilizing the by row argument. It's a good habit to check the type of a variable before moving forward. So just walking through this example here, we have int vector that has numbers 1 through 4 aligned in it. And then we have the next variable that's passed through is int matrix example. Now, going off of one notation that is incredibly important to R, I don't know if I mentioned it in the past, but it's the arrow. You're going to be passing the information from the right and linking it to the variable on the left. So we see here that the function matrix, we're passing in the int vector, followed by making it by 2 columns, but we're going to be filling it in by row. We type in int matrix into the console and we see the matrix and its shape. We'll follow through, we'll check whether or not it's the correct type, and sure enough, it is. Now, this may seem like a silly test to do, but when you're working through scripts that have hundreds of lines of code and you want to quickly verify that the information that's being passed from one function to another is actually the correct type, you're going to want to know how to do this to make sure that your functions are reporting the correct math and the correct object.